The Last of Us. What happened to the rest of the world after the cordyceps outbreak? The Last of Us shows us a world torn apart by the cordyceps fungus, a parasitic infection that annihilated much of the humanity. The focus of the series and the video game has always been on the United States, with Joel and Ellie as the central characters. But what about the rest of the world? How did other countries fare? And what do we know about global survival post pandemic? Today, we will be diving into what The Last of Us reveals and hints about the rest of the world during and after the fungal outbreak. The cordyceps outbreak originated in Jakarta, Indonesia, where the largest flour factory in the world was located. People consumed contaminated bread, leading to a rapid spread of the infection. From there, it only took days for the fungus to spread globally, overwhelming countries with a terrifying speed. While The Last of Us focuses on the journey of Joel and Ellie in America, the infection's global impact is undeniable. The most striking visual evidence of how the cordyceps outbreak affected the rest of the world comes from the artwork released by Naughty Dog. When promoting The Last of Us in 2014, these pieces of art show cities like London, Paris, Rome, and Moscow in total ruin, overtaken by nature as cordyceps fungus spread not only through human hosts but also underground and across buildings. In Paris, the Eiffel Tower stands in a devastated city space, while in Berlin, the once busy Hauptbahnhof train station is now an abandoned overground structure. Rome, the cradle of civilization, now lies in silence, its monuments lost to decay. In the opening scenes of the Last of Us game, there are several newspapers clippings in Joel's home that give us insights into how other parts of the world dealt with the outbreak. These articles mention infected farms in South America, crops spreading the fungus to Mexico, and the World Health Organization estimating that 60% of the global population either succumbed to the infection or died as a result of the outbreak. The global response to the cordyceps outbreaks was swift but desperate. Bombing infected cities was one of the most effective measures, but even that only succeeds in creating a few quarantine zones. So now we're going to talk about the human psychology and society after the outbreak. Beyond the physical devastation, the cordyceps outbreaks will have shattered human psychology and behavior on a global scale. People's trust in others eroded as anyone could become infected at any moment. This constant threat turned neighbors into enemies, survival into a zero-sum game. The moral compass of society shifted, loading violence and betrayal became survival tactics. Trust was replaced by paranoia, and even within the quarantine zones, an authoritarian regime controlled resources through fear. Basic human interaction will also have changed. The sight of loved ones turning into monstrous infected creatures will leave deep psychological scars. Entire generations will grow up knowing nothing but this dystopian world, never experiencing normal societies again. Infrastructures and sanitation will have collapsed. Sewage systems will be blocked or damaged. Clean water will be scarce, and medical resources almost non existent. Diseases that were only easily treatable, like the flu or infection from wounds, could become deadly into this new world. The cordyceps infection wasn't the only threat without proper sanitation. Plagues and other pandemics could easily emerge. And what about the culture and art? In a world where survival is a paramount, the creation of new art, music, and literature will largely decrease. Museums will rot, theaters will be empty, and monuments to human achievement will crumble without care. Pre-pandemic diseases like tuberculosis, malaria, or HPI might ravage populations further as medical advancements stopped and infrastructure broke down. The cordyceps infections didn't just destroy America, it will definitely destroy the entire globe. From South America to Europe, every corner of the world experienced the brutal consequences of the outbreak. While Joel and Ellie's journey takes center stage, The Last of Us gives us glimpses into a world that fell to ruin. And with the HBO series expanding the lore, we might see more about how different nations and cultures struggled and failed against this unstoppable threat. If you enjoyed this deep dive into The Last of Us lore and want more videos on the game's world building and hidden details, don't forget to like and subscribe to Pixel Insiders. We will be continuing exploring the mysteries of the favorite games ever.